welcome back to the Film and TV channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And we've got an anthology thriller drama to have a look at today that I watched on Netflix. Yes, so it's available on Netflix at this point in time. I'm recording this on the 25th of April 2022, so you can watch it on there depending on when you're watching this, of course. If it's not on there now, seek it out. Anatomy of a Scandal we're talking about today. Internet Movie Database, quite like it. 7.1 out of 10. 6,919 people scored it between 6 and 9 out of 10. And just 841 scored it between 2 and 5. So if you take that as a positivity, 6,919 out of that total, 89% were quite happy with this. So we'll have a look, a bit more detail on it. It's an anthology thriller drama, as I said, miniseries developed by David E. Kelly and Melissa James Gibson, based on the novel of the same name by Sarah Vaughan, which I've not watched. If you've watched it, you may be interested to compare the two. And it consists of 6 episodes by about 45 minutes approximately, and it premiered on Netflix on April the 15th, 2022. So it's been out for just over a week as I've watched this. What's it about? Well, Sophie Whitehouse, the wife of British Tory MP James Whitehouse, learns her husband has been having an affair with an aide. The news goes public, blowing up their lives and forcing us to deal with the consequences of her husband's disastrous decisions. To make matters worse, James is accused of rape and has to stand trial as well. So all isn't going well. Well, the political, he's an MP. What do we expect? We don't expect anything more, do we? Or anything less, depending which way you look at it. And this stars Sienna Miller. She plays Sophie Whitehouse, the MP's wife, James's wife. Michelle Dockery is Kate Woodcroft, a QC prosecution counsel tasked with James' case. And, of course, from Downton Abbey, it's nice to see Mary out of Downton. Oh, she's got a very deep voice. I always do it a little bit deeper. But nice to see her out of a Downton Abbey role anyway. It's always nice to see Michelle. Rupert Friend stars as James Whitehouse himself, the MP, former government minister and close aide to the Prime Minister. Naomi Scott as Olivia Litton, parliamentary researcher on James's staff, who's had the affair with him and later accuses him of rape. And Joshua Maguire as Joshua Maguire as Chris Clark, Downing Street Communications Chief. He's perfect in that role, in all fairness. And Josette Simon as Angela Regan QC, James's defence counsel. Rotten Tomatoes, what do they think of it? We had the public's view, which seems quite positive. Let's have a look at the critics. Yeah, 62% positivity, so not as quite as impressed, I don't think, as the public. Deborah Ross from the Mail on Sunday, she was pretty rotten on it. She said, I needed a constant supply of Red Bulls to make it through to the end. I assume she's talking about the series. It's the sort of series you want to thrash with a broom, hoping it will leap into some kind of life. Bit harsh, but I can understand certain elements of that, yeah, but we'll talk about that a little bit in my little thoughts. Nina Metz, she's fresh, from Chicago Tribune. Don't get me wrong, she said, it's garbage, but it's high-end garbage and eminently bingeable. That kind of thing has its place. There you go. Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that either. So the negative and the positive, I can live with both of those. Rotten Tomato audience, so they're a bit down on it compared to Internet Movie Database, just 45%. I don't think there's many reviews been left, but that's a low score. If we look at the Metascore, which is the only critic site we look at, just 51 out of 100, so just crawled over halfway. That's based on 19 critics, and they scored it anywhere between 25 and 80 out of 100. A bit of a discrepancy there, and it's received 4 positive, 14 mixed, and just 1 negative. So we'll take that. We'll take that as a positive. The Guardian. Rebecca Nicholson, yeah, she didn't like it that much. She only gave it 40. She said, on the one hand, this is a twisty thrill that knows it is silly and hams that up. Yep. On the other, it attempts a serious exploration of consent and power, which sits uneasily with all the fireworks and barely begins to unravel the knots it makes for itself. Okay, Rebecca. Empire, though, they liked it a little bit. Jordan King, on behalf of Empire magazine, he scored at 80, yeah, a bit over the top. Incisive, enraging, and boasting an excellent ensemble, this timely drama may be made for binge viewing, but it offers plenty of food for thought. Okay, I'm a little bit between those two guys, in all fairness. So what about me? Yeah, very mixed response, as you can see. As I say, certainly Internet Movie Database is very positive. So ignore the 10 out of 10s. There's a lot of those as well. But yeah, to sum up my thoughts on this, it was okay. It was all right. A Netflix streaming effort, so I don't pay any more to what I already pay. I'm not had to pay anything extra on top of my streaming charge. So I'm always happy if there's at least something watchable, whether it be an hour and a half film or a little mini series like this. It was possibly, it was possibly an episode or two too long. I think the time could have been filled better. I think 6 episodes was adequate, but it's just I wanted more things explained that perhaps weren't within that. But obviously, they say there was a lot of stuff that was probably needless, and you could have done based on what we saw with an episode or two less. We get the flashbacks, which is pretty essential, quite easy to follow because they do look obviously a lot different looking. Obviously, the younger versions. And we needed that for the plot as well, as it slowly dripped little information to make you decide whether what was right and what was wrong, etc., or make your own mind up, basically. So it didn't really confuse. It was well done, the flashbacks. It certainly wasn't unnecessary. It was just all part and parcel of the old story. But it is a fairly simple by-the-numbers watch. There's nothing clever in this. Nothing clever. There's a twist or two, but I mean, it's not exactly clever. Just makes you think, would that have really happened, or would that be doing that? Then, as I said, there's lots of little plot holes, perhaps. And I wanted more information on some characters. Some characters were sort of in it and then rarely touched upon again throughout the course of the thing, which was unusual, especially the girl making the accusation. There's not a lot in it apart from flashbacks to the sequences of her with the guy, etc., etc. There wasn't any real story for it. I wouldn't have minded that being involved in it, but obviously that's not the way they wanted to go. No lack of dramatic license, of course, and not say they've bent things to suit the narrative of the story. But it is a very, as I think was mentioned there, very easy binge watch. And it doesn't, as I said, even though it might have been an episode or two too long, it never really outstays its welcome. I didn't, a couple of times I got perhaps picked my phone up and checked a couple of things while I was watching it. But overall, it was fine. It definitely has a serial feel to it. It ended on that sort of context. But I'm not exactly on the edge of my seat waiting for a sequel or a series 2 of this, in all fairness. Although, as I said, I did enjoy a couple of the actors that I do like to see out of their old traditional haunts, which is nice to see. But as I say, I'm not on the edge of my seat about it. So I'm going to give it a good, my simple, basic, watchable score, which is a simple 6 out of 10. Just to say, it could have been a lot better. No bells and whistles with this one. All very, very straightforward. People you like and people you don't like. And fingers crossed the people you don't like get the comeuppance, but you'll have to wait and see, won't you? As I said, also, there could be certainly a series 2 sort of coming in line based on what we saw by the end of this, which isn't always necessary, of course, but it sort of does make it, perhaps, if you did enjoy it, make it more interesting to watch series 2 when it comes out. Simple. Nothing wrong with it. 6 out of 10. Just okay. An okay watch for me. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, until we meet again, please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.